What's the weirdest thing your partner does that you've just accepted? Before we start with the first story, please hit subscribe and ring the notification bell to stay updated with us. Story 1. When he's alone, he talks to himself in third person, making comments on the things he's doing. Ladies and gentlemen, blah 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 has done it again. He's made the best omelet in history. For the third time this month, he's the man of the year. Look at him getting a glass and opening the fridge. Ooh, is he going for orange juice? Yes, he is. Okay, now he needs to do something, but what was it? Alright, the toast. The toast, everybody. He almost forgot the toast. Stuff like that. I'm glad he does it loudly. It's hilarious. Especially when he gets tired and stops mid-sentence, but keeps doing what he's doing in silence. Even funnier when he starts speaking again all of a sudden. Story 2. She usually dresses normal, but sometimes she goes through phases where she dresses like people from different eras. Like a 70s disco phase outfit, or 80s rock chick outfit, or a 1950s dress outfit. It's one thing to do this for a day or something. She will do it for like 3 to 4 weeks straight, ordering clothes on Amazon to make new outfits. Wearing the outfits to go grocery shopping or walking the dog, etc. And then she rinses and repeats every once in a while. She also will obsessively watch movies from that era when this happens. She has been doing this for April 20th, 2024. She is known in our neighborhood for doing this. Story 3. He lays on the floor to decompress, which isn't too bizarre. But he lays down in weird spots and occasionally accidentally scares the shit out of me. One time, he was lying on the floor in the front entrance closet, petting the cat, and fell asleep. I just saw his legs on the ground sticking out from the closet. My first thought was that he had fallen, hurt himself, and was unconscious, but he was just snuggling the cat. Another time, I couldn't find him anywhere in the house and started to freak out. But he was lying on the back deck on his belly, talking to the skunk that lives under the deck. This was at night, so all I see is a man sprawled on the deck in the dark. Scared me silly. Story 4. Anything that could go or fit on top of anything else is called a hat. There are no lids, there are no covers, there are no toppers or caps. We have a top loader freezer. She wouldn't say close the lid. She'd say put the freezer hat back on. Bottle caps. No, bottle hats. Does the pot of boiling water have a lid? Nope, it has a hat. Wine bottle stopper. Try again. That's a hat. Trash bin cover. Trash bin hat. There are hats and only hats. Edit to add that she's a native English speaker, but her family is Lithuanian. I think it's something she picked up from her dad as a kid, and it just became a habit. She is aware that it's goofy. Story 5. Loser all the time. I never thought I would be the organized one in the relationship, but I have routines for where my stuff goes. Keys hang on the wall by the front door. Sunglasses hang next to that. Wallet, pen, and knife go on the table just below. Her sunglasses can literally be anywhere. I found them in the freezer, behind the toilet in the bathroom, and tucked between the cushions on the couch. Her tiny purse that she carries ID, CCS, and a little cash is the same. It could be anywhere. So when it's time to go do something outside, she's very rush. Let's get going now. Until it comes time for her to find the purse, sunglasses, and keys. Then it stands around and waits or helps her find them. I've started adding 10 minutes to our timelines, just for that reason. I find it somewhat endearing, but man, I wish she'd just put her where it goes. Edit. Some of you never go outside, and it shows. Story 6. I'm a big proponent of farting early in a relationship. It lets your significant other know that you're comfortable around them. My wife, on the other hand, hid her farts from me for years until recently. She had an abdominal surgery, and afterwards she was full of gas, so she was going to be ripping ass for a while. I got her home and was getting her ready for bed, and she looked at me with horror in her eyes and blasted ass louder and longer than I thought was humanly possible. Now, she'll get home from work, step in the house, and just blow me away with the monster she was saving all the way home. I love her. Story 7. Absolutely nothing weird at all. I've been with my beloved husband for 20 years now. At first, I thought he was just hiding his weirdness, and all of his dorky niche interests would come out eventually. He never cracked. The dude even sleeps 100% normal. All of his activities and hobbies are socially acceptable. He enjoys martial arts and craft beer and hiking and watching sports with his buddies. He wears normal clothes like he is going out at all times. He loves gourmet food. but won't eat anything too weird. I can't think of a single thing he's ever done that I could describe as weird or quirky. And that in itself makes him unique among everyone I have ever met. Story 8. Can I say what I do that my partner has accepted? One day I woke up and my now husband told me, "You're really creepy to sleep next to, do you know that?" I asked him why, what happened? What did I say or do? I talk in my sleep when I'm stressed and say odd things like, "Where are my moon boxes? The stars are bleeding." He said he woke up in the night and saw me lying flat on my back, with both arms outstretched to the ceiling like I'm waiting for the aliens to come pick me up. I slowly reached one arm over to scratch my outstretched arm, then slowly reached over to scratch the other arm. I resumed outstretching. I then slowly lowered both arms to the bed. I told him, I thought I outgrew that as a kid because I used to wake up as a child, because my arms would be tired from holding them towards the ceiling all night. We like to call it I'm trying to phone into the alien sleeping move. Edit, I love that one of my highest upvoted Reddit comments is about me doing something silly in my sleep, and finding out there are other people out there that do this exact same thing, and I feel little less alone and a little more normal. Story 9. Constant noise of some kind or another. My husband constantly has to have the TV or radio for background noise. If it's quiet, he has to fill the void, so he just starts talking about absolutely nothing because he can't stand silence for some reason. It used to really bother me. I don't generally like background noise as it makes it hard for me to focus. I like talking even less, but I've gotten used to it and found some compromises that help. I usually get up a few hours early to just enjoy the peace and quiet of the early morning, and I set up our guest bedroom as my own little she-shed to retreat to. I also use the guest bathroom for my nightly routine, so I can get a few minutes of quiet before bed. It really helps me relax and distress to not have any noises when I'm getting ready to sleep. I also use earplugs a lot. They're great at bedtime, and when we're watching a loud show together, I can put them in, and the volume doesn't hurt my ears anymore, but I can still hear the television quietly. Story 10. Well, there's two things. One, I just accept and let it go. The other, I still get agitated with and say something. So the first one is the nervous laughter bit. Whenever she's talking to someone she doesn't know really well, she does a lot of loud, nervous laughter. I've accepted that one and usually try to jump in and help her out so her laughing calms down. I feel like that one is my duty. The second one I simply can't let go. The funny part is I don't get agitated at her. I get agitated for her. She has a habit of apologizing for random things for which no apology is necessary. For example, if she's walking out of an elevator and people are in the way, which they shouldn't be because people getting off come first, otherwise no one can get on, she will not only say, "Excuse me," but she will apologize. I know it's a nervous thing, but I always say out loud, "Don't apologize for doing nothing wrong, love." And then I'll loudly say, "Excuse me," and start pushing through anyone in the way. They should be apologizing for being in the way when they are the ones breaking the normal flow and etiquette of elevators. So even though I'm agitated, it's not at her. It's more that I don't want my love to be apologizing to rude idiots. Story 11. He refuses to say or use the word love in any context. He has only ever told me he loves me twice in all our 15 years together. Once in writing and once verbally. He will say "I, you," which is his way of saying "I love you" to me and our kids. He replaces love with other words, usually lamp. So instead of "I love eating cheesy potatoes," he would say, "I lamp eating cheesy potatoes." Early in our relationship, it bothered me, but it grew on me, and now it is our thing. He says that the word love is used frivolously, and that it really has no meaning because it is used in ways it shouldn't be, and he has had girlfriends in the past force him to say it when he didn't want to or feel that way. Now, if he said it, I would immediately ask, "What is wrong? Are you dying?" Story 12. My husband insists that the proper way to finish a shower is to dry off while standing in the shower. I have never heard of this from anyone outside his family. We have a very tiny shower, and I think it's insane. I need room to dry off. His reasoning is that it keeps the floor from getting soaked. He asked me to try it out. I did try it, and I hated it. I compromised by taking steps to make sure the floor doesn't get wet. I stand in the shower an extra minute to let the water run off, and I wring my hair out in the shower. When he moved in with me, I bought extra bath mats to keep the floor from getting slippery. He acknowledges that I do actually keep the floor pretty dry. He just thinks it's weird that I don't want to stand in the shower to dry off. Story 13. From the year 2010 until around 2013, my husband went through a phase of wearing only a blanket when at home. As soon as he got home, off came all clothing, and he would wrap up in this red quilt we had. He would remain in this blanket even when we had visitors. You couldn't tell he was completely naked, so most people just thought he had underwear and shorts on underneath. I know, cause I asked them, and then would tell them the truth just to see their reaction. Bahaha. In 2012, we had moved to a different province, but I was very pregnant during the move, and so I stayed with my parents in our home province, and he moved before me to get everything ready for me, our son, and soon-to-be newborn. Every couple weeks, I would take a 4-hour ferry ride to go see him. The ferry got into the terminal around 1 a.m., and he would pick me up. One of these trips, as the ferry was coming into the terminal and getting ready for deboarding, I could see him standing on the interior pedway waiting for me. He was wrapped up in a red blanket. I thought to myself, ha ha ha, I bet he is frigging naked under that. Sure enough, I get to him and ask, are you wearing clothing? He replies sheepishly, no, then goes on to tell me how it was too cold to wait in the car, so he sat in the ferry terminal like this and had a whole conversation with the ticket agent. He soon stopped wearing just a blanket after that. It has been 11 years since that happened, and he recently just brought up wearing only a blanket thing and said that he can't believe he did this. I will admit, I thought it was hilarious just how awkward it was for everyone else. Story 14. He coughs to the point that he throws up multiple times a week. His body overproduces mucus 100% of the time, so by each morning, he's basically full of liquid and needs to get it all out. I've told him to see a doctor, but in the past they just blamed it on asthma and sent him on his way with an albuterol inhaler that is only for emergency use and does nothing in daily life. He's on allergy drops. They're sort of like oral allergy shots, and decongestants always, and they just don't help. His I'm drowning in my own fluids coughing fits have stopped freaking out our entire friend group. They're just used to it. Oh yeah, he just sounds like he's dying, don't worry about it, he'll be fine. I feel like some doctor needs to ablate the out of his lung passages so they can't make phlegm anymore. Story 15. My husband will delay cleaning his ears, like 2 to 3 weeks at a time, and very proudly display his earwax, not only by shoving it damn near in my eyeballs each time, but we'll take to Snapchat to show all of our friends. And if it's a really good, nasty one, he will save it until I toss it accidentally while cleaning. I, on the other hand, hate the sensation of wet ears after a bath, shower, or swim, so I am constantly cleaning my ears. No, I do not get frequent ear infections, lol. It's not a poor hygiene thing. His mother would obsessively clean his ears as a child, which led to chronic ear infections, tubes, and hearing complications. So he has a fear of cleaning too frequently and getting an ear infection or doing something to damage his hearing. Alright folks, that's a wrap. If you like more of this, please hit the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. You can also share your thoughts in the comment below. I'll see you in the next video.